Sometimes the most dangerous kind of manipulation doesn't scream. It whispers. It smiles. It says, "You're overreacting," when you finally stand up for yourself. Gaslighting doesn't begin as cruelty. It begins as doubt. A quiet twisting of perception that makes you question your memory, your emotions, even your sanity. One day, you stop trusting your own eyes. You start asking them what's real. And that's when they've won. Because the true horror of gaslighting isn't the lie they tell you. It's the truth they take away. It's not just a tactic. It's psychological warfare, disguised as love, concern, or logic. And it happens more often than we like to admit, in relationships, in families, even in workplaces. At its core, gaslighting is a deliberate erosion of another person's sense of reality. The term comes from a 1944 film titled Gaslight, where a husband manipulates his wife into believing she's losing her mind by dimming the lights in their home and denying it's happening. But modern gaslighting is rarely cinematic. It's subtle. It hides behind good intentions and polished charm. It sounds like, "I never said that. You're imagining things. You're too sensitive." What makes it so devastating is that it doesn't attack your body. It attacks your perception. When someone gaslights you, they aren't just disagreeing. They're dismantling your ability to trust yourself. Psychologists describe this as reality distortion, a form of emotional abuse that shifts power away from a victim and places it entirely in the hands of the manipulator. Over time, the victim starts to internalize the narrative. They begin to think, "Maybe I am the problem." And that's the psychological trap. Once your self-trust is broken, they can rebuild your reality in their image. Gaslighting thrives on control, but not the loud, dominating kind. It's control through confusion. Many gaslighters share a deep fear of losing power. Psychologists often link this behavior to narcissistic or antisocial tendencies, but can also emerge in ordinary people who crave emotional dominance. To them, being right isn't about truth. It's about maintaining authority. They rewrite stories. They blur timelines. They make you question your emotional reactions. If you confront them, they act calm, too calm, while you start to look irrational. It's a performance, and they know exactly what they're doing. Imagine this. You tell your partner something they did hurt you. Instead of listening, they frown and say, "You always twist things. I was just trying to help." Now you're confused, defensive, maybe even guilty. That confusion is their weapon. Because if you're busy doubting yourself, you can't question them. In psychology, this is tied to cognitive dissonance, that uncomfortable tension when your brain tries to hold two conflicting realities at once. Gaslighters exploit this dissonance. They keep you teetering between what you know and what they insist is true until you surrender to the easier option, believing them. But not all gaslighters are calculated predators. Some are emotionally immature individuals who can't tolerate accountability. When confronted with their mistakes, they feel shame, and instead of owning it, they rewrite reality to escape it. That's what makes gaslighting so complex. It's not always about malice. Sometimes it's about self-preservation. A person so terrified of being wrong that they'd rather distort reality than face their own guilt. Still, the result is the same. You begin to lose your reflection. You find yourself apologizing for things you didn't do. You rehearse conversations in your head, trying to prove to yourself that you're not crazy. You start craving their validation, even after they've hurt you, because part of you still believes they see something you don't. And this is a psychological paradox of gaslighting. The more you try to regain their approval, the more you abandon your own truth. It's a slow unraveling, not of love, but of identity. By the time a person realizes they're being gaslighted, the damage is already deep. Their instincts feel unreliable. Their memories seem blurred. Their emotions muted by constant self-doubt. But here's what most people don't see. Behind every gaslighter lies a deeper psychology. Insecurity, fear, or the craving for superiority that masks profound emptiness. Understanding that is the key to breaking the illusion. Because once you see why they distort reality, their power begins to fade. Next, we'll go beneath the surface, into the emotional machinery that drives gaslighters, how they target certain personalities, and why the most empathetic people are often the easiest to manipulate. When someone makes you question your reality, it's not your mind that's broken. It's their truth that's built on lies. Gaslighting doesn't survive in isolation. It feeds on emotional imbalance. To truly understand it, you have to look beyond manipulation into the emotional ecosystem that sustains it. Most gaslighters operate through two hidden motives: fear and fragility. Fear of exposure, fragility of ego. To them, being wrong feels like annihilation. So instead of facing the discomfort of guilt or rejection, they rewrite reality to preserve the illusion of control. Psychologists sometimes call this ego defense through projection. They take their own insecurities, dishonesty, jealousy, or fear of abandonment and paint them onto you. Suddenly, you're the one who's unstable, jealous, dishonest, and the more you protest, the more convincing their illusion becomes. But here's the darker twist. Many gaslighters aren't trying to destroy you. They're trying to keep you. By weakening your sense of self, they make themselves the center of your reality. They feed off your confusion, your need for clarity, your desperate attempts to fix the relationship. Because as long as you're trying to prove your sanity, you're still dancing to their rhythm. In romantic relationships, it can sound like love. In families, it sounds like authority. In workplaces, it sounds like professionalism. But the pattern is always the same. One person redefines truth. The other begins to live inside their version of it. There's also a subtler form, unconscious gaslighting. Not born of cruelty, but blindness. People raised in environments where emotions were dismissed or minimized often learn to do the same. They might say, "You're exaggerating," not to manipulate, but because emotional honesty feels foreign, even threatening. This doesn't excuse the harm, but explains why some people gaslight without realizing it. They're repeating a cycle of emotional invalidation they once endured. Gaslighting, then, is not always a predator's weapon. Sometimes it's a defense mechanism, a fragile mind's attempt to avoid pain by denying its existence. But whether born of malice or fear, the effect is identical: the erasure of someone's inner voice. The cruelest part of gaslighting isn't what they do. It's what it teaches you about yourself. It teaches you to distrust your emotions, to second-guess your memory, to shrink your reactions until they fit someone else's comfort. Over time, you start editing your own truth before you even speak it. That's not weakness. That's survival. Your mind learns to adapt, to avoid confrontation, to keep peace, even when that peace is built on silence. But beneath that silence, something remarkable still lies. The instinct that whispers, "This isn't right." It might be faint, buried under years of manipulation, but it's there, the part of you that still knows your truth, even when it's been twisted. Reclaiming yourself after gaslighting isn't about proving the manipulator wrong. It's about remembering what real feels like. The sound of your laughter that doesn't need approval. The weight of your memories when no one's editing them. The strength of your emotions when they're allowed to exist freely. Healing begins when you stop debating the lie and start trusting the quiet certainty beneath it. Because gaslighting doesn't erase your truth. It only buries it under noise. And when you begin to clear that noise through therapy, self-reflection, or distance, something extraordinary happens. You realize your clarity was never broken. It was just silenced. Gaslighting reveals something unsettling about human nature, how easily truth can be bent, and how deeply we crave validation, even from those who harm us. But it also reveals something powerful, that the mind, once aware, can never be fully controlled. Once you recognize manipulation for what it is, you begin to see through it, not just in others, but in yourself. In the moments you've dismissed your own feelings to keep someone comfortable. In the times you minimize your pain to seem rational. Awareness is rebellion. Every time you name what's happening, Every time you choose to believe your own memory, you take back a piece of power they thought they owned. So, the next time someone tells you you're imagining things, pause. Listen not to their words, but to your body, your intuition, your quiet certainty. Because your reality is sacred. And the moment you choose to trust it again, the illusion collapses. If this opened your eyes, share it. Someone, somewhere, is still questioning their sanity when they should be questioning the person who taught them to. Remember, gaslighting isn't the end of your truth. It's the beginning of reclaiming it.